Hey, Miami sports fans. Stop by Caneswear today at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. And check out their awesome merchandise selection of your favorite South Florida sports teams. From the Miami Dolphins, Hurricanes, Heat, Marlins, Florida Panthers, and Inter Miami, they've got it all. Celebrate your favorite team and show off your fandom with their beautiful team starter jackets, killer-looking helmets, team jerseys, cool shirts, and more. And if you're out of town or out of state, no worries. Go to Caneswear.com and find everything they have on their site. Select what you want, and they will ship your gear to you. Anything over $99 is shipped for free. Don't wait. Stop at Caneswear today.
Ahora de Cuba la Bella, del Palacio los Jugos, los chicharrones. Los vecinos aquí se enteran de todo.
Mi vecina era CDR en Cuba.
Y en verdad no hay nothing that you can do. Chacleteras sin llames con corbata.
Aquí yo vendo hot dog, pero en Cuba yo era médico.
Le saco el dedo y digo Q. Sweet home Hialeah. Solo 30 minutos de Le Bayo. Oh, sweet home Hialeah. I hate your traffic, but I love you.
Good morning, Miami, Hialeah, and everyone. Welcome to another episode of East 10th Street Boys. I am Bobby Melendez, joined always by Alex Atiachisca. Buenos dias, brother. How are you?
Buenos dias, mi hermano. How's everything, buddy?
All right, man. You know, I am surprised that I am awake. The wife and I were up till 3 a.m. Cleaning the closet. But when I just cut that right in, I know where you're going. No, you know.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
cleaning the closet.
in the closet over there, anywhere. Boy, let's get it done. No, man. We got tons of clothes that we don't even use, and you know, and it's like when you do laundry, it's like I don't even want to, you know, and then it starts to pile up, and no, I said no, dude, I'm done. So they went to the grocery store, my in-laws and my wife. So I was like, I'm going to take this opportunity. So I started going to the closet. I started pulling everything out because to me, the way I clean, especially if I got a deep clean, is I take everything and then
placing back things.
That's correct.
Yep.
So whatever's not going to fit, that's what I'm throwing out. So we got like 3, 4, 5. I don't know how many bags of clothes that I'm taking to Goodwill. I'm like, we don't need this. I don't, you know. Oh, but what if you lose the weight? Then I'll buy a new shirt. I ain't gonna wear this. You know what I mean? So this, you know, I don't know what time I took a shower, but I ended up going to bed, and I was like, I saw the time. I went, oh crap! So I set the alarm, and I went 8:30, 9. I got up a little before that, and I was just like, I tried to go back, and I was like, no, never mind. So I just got up, and so I'm here, but I'm good. How about you? How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. It's been a long weekend. We had a basketball tournament yesterday, the high school team camp. So we went there yesterday. My son had a party. We just came back from practice today. So it's been a productive weekend, but a little bit tiring. So, but I'm actually excited because this is a little new mini time slot for us. Something new of Sunday morning. New graphics, which we love. New backdrop, which we love, including mine. This is my green screen, my natural green screen. So it's very productive. For example, what you said you did, I found myself that I advanced a lot in my homework late at night because everything is calm, everything is silent. And for some reason, when you're working at night, Bob, when you're doing like either construction or cleansing, it feels like the nighttime, it lasts a little bit longer. I don't know if you get that feeling. And you're like, wow, I did a lot right now. Like I got a lot done. So it's a cool cleanse, late night cleanse.
Yeah, I mean, I still got work to do. I was like, after a while, I told her, I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to put this all in the bucket, whatever was left. And I said, we'll get into that and fix that once we get to it. So I know she's probably hating on me right now because she's over there and she's probably like, you know, but that's okay. She'll get over it. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
But man, you know, yeah. Hey, look, that's how it is over here. It's Sunday morning. You know, it's what do you call up all night, sleep all day? Just not me. I don't do that. I don't like it. I just get up and don't want to waste anything.
Yeah.
But you know, thought it'd be cool because we didn't do a show on Wednesday night. We didn't do one, and so I thought it'd be cool to do it. You know, I always love doing the morning show anyway. And I think the last time we did, we had a lot of fun, and so I thought it'd be cool to do it now. And
yeah,
you know, there's plenty to talk about, not just us, but sports. Miami, you know, Florida Panthers going back to the
clinched
Stanley Cup final. You know, whether they face Edmonton or who else is the other damn team? Dallas. So, and who's leading right
now?
Edmonton's
right?
leading. No, Edmonton's
leading
3-2 right now. Yeah.
Woo!
And you got game 6 tonight. If Edmonton wins, Edmonton advances.
Okay.
The Panthers could bring the Stanley Cup to Florida.
That's
it could be legit, man. It's
what
really
a team
cool
build,
team.
man. Back-to-back Stanley Cup.
What a fun team. What a fun team. That's a team. It's not like, you know, when a team goes like, you know, it's good or it's okay and it's making us in a, you know, and then after next year it's gonna be bad. It's a team that makes you fall in love with it, you know, and makes you excited to watch it. It makes you go, man, I want to watch it again. I'm gonna be honest. Even and this wasn't on purpose. What I'm saying is what I'm wearing, but the Miami Marlins right now,
sir.
You know, they lost yesterday against Texas, but they have been, despite the early struggles and very bad struggles, and you know we don't expect much from them this season, but they've been a fun team to watch, and you have really, and at least for me, I've come to really enjoy watching them and looking forward to watching them just with the young guns to see what pieces could be good enough to advance. You know, later on, God, I'm forgetting his name right now. I'm thinking of the rookie right fielder. Got a home run a couple of games ago. It was really cool to see for him. He got a great outfield catch. You know, guy. It's really cool.
Are you talking about Myers, Dave Myers, or no? Because that was last year. He was a rookie last year. No,
this year. This was this year.
Okay, I gotta find his name because I know
Myers. Myers is the pitcher, isn't it?
No. Well, no. There's one. There's an outfielder. Hold on. Let's look it up real quick to make sure.
It's a rookie for sure because I looked him up when I saw the way he was playing. I was like, dang, who is this guy? Josh Bell is another guy I like a lot, man. Josh Bell is really good. I like Josh Bell. But anyway, they're a fun team to watch. And the Panthers.
Are you thinking about Jesus Sanchez?
No. Sanchez is not a rookie though.
No, at all. That's why. Hold on. Let me see who play right field.
Man, you can make me look this up.
Let me see who play right field. Yeah, right field. I got Sanchez right field. Nick Gordon left field. Rivera third base. Otto Lopez second.
I'll tell you.
Tell me his name.
Once I see his name, I'll know.
It'll pop up.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like he played yesterday.
While you're looking at it, man, it's crazy to think that. I was actually talking to Ralph about it yesterday. Where if the pitching would have been healthy, we always saw the talent in this team, and they're young, they're developing, and obviously the Luis Reyes trade, it's going to trigger the fan base like it did us. But we did get some talent in return. We saw the reasoning behind it because they're not going to sign him long term, but it does give you some hope with what the roster has, and obviously getting our pitching health. Like I said, we're getting a hot streak at the right time because pretty soon, come trade deadline, that's when they start like, oh, who's going to be a buyer and a seller? So obviously the Marlins most likely will be sellers, but if they continue this streak, there's no way. I mean, you couldn't say that the Peter Bendix wouldn't turn around and be like, hey, let's give it a shot, which I doubt, but let's give it a shot if we're close enough. And the pitching, obviously, we're not going to have Yuri, we're not going to have Sandy. That's until next year. But Weathers has been a pleasant surprise. Noble Mayer in the minors. That's a future top 2 starter in our rotation. Like our starting unit is going to be nice for years to come. Kind of like if they do this build, Bobby, the right way, it's kind of like the Panthers did their build. And I'm not comparing those two franchises, but the Panthers, what you've mentioned is they've taken South Florida by storm. Sunrise, obviously, where they play at, they're always been supportive for the past years because that arena was empty for many years. Took new ownership, took new leadership, new front office personnel, and hiring the right people, drafting the right people, making the right trades trading a fan favorite and Huberdeau to getting Kachuk. So there's a lot of things that go into play where now you see a stable franchise that at times couldn't sustain itself in South Florida, really a winter sport per se, and now you see them thriving. So it's a refreshing feeling here, and they're going to be there for years to come in that position. And yes, the facility is beautiful. The new facility that they have is beautiful, man.
But yeah, first off, Damian Guzman, RL Lyles, Scotty, as always. Good morning, guys. Thank you all for joining us. Everyone who's tuning in right now, wherever you're watching, we appreciate you tuning in and joining us today. Hopefully, you got some cafecito with you. You're chilling, you're relaxing, and you're talking. We're just shooting the shit right now. That's what this is about today. You know,
shooting the shit. I like that. Shooting
you like
the
that?
Shit. We got to make sure it's shooting the shit.
Shooting the shit. I want to go play some pickleball at their facility. Scotty says, but no, the Florida Panthers, it's, you know, because I don't consider Florida a hockey town at all, or South Florida. But they're slowly but surely really making Miami, South Florida, a hockey town.
Yes. And
even Florida itself. You know, you got Florida fans outside of Miami that are really catching on to the Panthers and enjoying this run. And this is 2 years in a row. You know, if they could bring that chip in, finish their story this season at least, imagine the impact that can have on the community and even in the state of Florida and fans everywhere.
Yeah, and everything Berg's right. They're built for sustained success for the next 5-6 years.
Yeah, this is not a team that's the difference between Marlins and you know, the Marlins and the Panthers. Now, obviously, the Marlins is different ownership throughout the history, different management, whatever. But you know, you kind of see some of these, and it was Dane Myers. You're right. It was Dane Myers. Yeah, he's in his second year.
Yeah.
But anyway, I watched it. I forgot what game it was. I think it was when Sixto had a terrible Sanchez had a terrible first inning.
Yeah.
It was that one where he caught the ball. He was like the ball was hit, you know, to right field, and he dove and caught it, and then he hit a home run like 2 innings later. And I'm like, this dude, who is this kid? I was like, this kid's legit. Yeah.
The good thing about this team, like you said, a lot of people that don't have opportunities in other teams will showcase their talents here. And then you know what you have to work with. You know who you have to work with.
That's right. And, you know, honestly, you know, again, it's not like, oh, my God, I think we're 20 games. Yeah, we're 20 games back.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously, there's no expectations with this team. No. You have nothing to lose. You know, you have everything to gain. So, like, for some of these guys that, you know, and again, you know, do I expect any more trades? Absolutely. I think, you know, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if it's Jazz or whomever, you know, but when you got player, like one of my favorite players to watch when he's playing, just because he looks like he actually gives a damn, is like Josh Bell. I like Josh Bell.
Him and Luzardo might be the ones traded.
Yeah,
because a contender would ask for him.
Well, because and he that's what I mean. He looks like he gives a damn.
Yeah,
He's not. You don't ever see him celebrating or like not celebrating. He does celebrate. I mean, like, you know,
he's even cute, and he's always
he doesn't overhype. You know, he's kind of like, you know, what are you doing, bro? We're down. You know, and I love that. But then when he's on the plate, you always feel like you have a chance. When he's at the plate, you're like, okay, quiet. We got something here.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Rivera, that was a midseason move by the Marlins. Boricua, you know, cool dude.
Yeah.
And actually, he's been decent. I like him. I think he was a solid addition to the squad.
They've hit on a lot of those little minimal acquisitions that people don't like, those non-sexy acquisitions. They seem to have a very, very well developed analytical department for being such a close a transition within a year. So I see what they're doing. And I'm not saying it's like Moneyball, but it's something similar to that. They're trying to exploit certain parts.
It's the dollar store version of it, you know. Yeah. I mean, they're trying. Yeah. Are they going to do it? No, but they're trying, you know, and it's okay.
Well, I mean, they ran it in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was successful many years under this formula. So that's what they're trying to emulate. Yeah. But hopefully there is some long term.
Again, and, you know, you think of like a Josh Bell or, you know, you're like a Jazz, you know, who's young and he's very good. You might get some solid pieces for him. Again, I, you know, rather not trade someone like that because you want to try to help build around that. But again, Brian De La Cruz is someone who's fun to watch. I think he leads the team in home runs.
Yes,
But
he's legit. He's legit.
Is he a veteran or is he? How old is he? Is he a young guy?
He. I believe he's 25, 26, but I believe he's under team control. I have to go. That's like Jake Berger, for example. That's why they're so valuable. Because
I got it.
Under the baseball rules,
27.
they're under team control.
27.
He's 27.
Yeah, dude. It's so that right there.
He could be your DH. He could be your DH going forward.
He's a player that, you go into next season and you got him on your roster. And a lot of these players, and you still can have a solid roster. This team was a playoff team last season. I think what really killed it, obviously maybe morale, whatever happened behind the scenes, we don't know. But we know that, Yuri and Sandy, both out. That kills your momentum. That kills your spirit because those are two top dudes in baseball and pitching. You lose them, it kills you. Now, the roster's not perfect. Miami is going to have to do a little bit here and there to build something to be able to sustain a winning type of team, and they could do it. They've done it. They're showing it. What is it, like 17 out of 19 games right now?
They won 11 out of 13. I think they were 14 and 13 in the month of May. So they had an above 500 month. Obviously, they dug themselves an immense hole because we started off horribly slow, like you mentioned. And one acquisition also that I really liked that went under the radar was Nick Gordon's acquisition.
Yeah,
from
Nick
Minnesota.
Gordon.
D. Gordon's brother. Nick Gordon is a very versatile player. So those are you see the idea of what they have. And remember, they're still in the pipeline. Obviously, our farm system is a little depleted, but there's still a few players, positional players that will come up. Even I don't know if you remember. I want to say almost 5 years ago when we signed the Mesa brothers, Victor Mesa, and then Victor Mesa Jr. The younger brother, is rising up the ranks. Like they're making noise in the minor leagues. So you're going to see a different team next year, hopefully. In regards to with certain pieces added, they're going to be younger. I don't expect them to trade the starting pitching of Sandy and Yuri. They might trade Jesus Luzardo. They might trade some relievers, some positional players, but I do believe next year we might have the best rotation in baseball. I know it's a lot to say, and people are not going to believe us, but legit, there is a talent there. So it might be that 1 year gap where you have a fall off, and hopefully you build for sustained success. But until you win, until you produce, fans are not going to show up to the ballpark. And it's like I know someone made a comment there about the bright line. It's a sad moment. It's a sad situation because that ballpark is in the heart of baseball here in South Florida, which is Little Havana. And it used to be where the Orange Bowl was, close to Bobby Maduro Stadium. So we have a history here in South Florida with baseball. And you have a community. Kind of like if you build a stadium here in Doral for soccer. Like it's going to be in the epicenter. And look at Fort Lauderdale. Inter Miami. You have people flocking. Obviously, you got Messi, but you got people flocking to that stadium. So you got to produce. In Miami, unfortunately, you have to produce to have sustained success in the fans and monetarily. So we'll see.
We'll see. And he's I assume Scotty's a Yankees fan. He's bringing up Yankees 41 wins, 19 losses. Aaron Judge, I'm sure, is blowing it up. That's one thing I was just talking. I've told my follow-up before, and I was just talking to Tati yesterday. But I was like, one, not obviously not soon, but I would eventually. Even though I'm a Marlins fan and I grew up a Marlins fan, I would love to go to New York City to go to Yankee Stadium. Take my father-in-law to Yankee Stadium because he's always wanted to go. He's gone to New York a few times, never went.
Is he a Yankees fan or a Mets fan?
He is whoever's a Puerto Rican fan. So whatever team has a Puerto Rican
typically are Mets fans.
Yeah,
confirm with him, by the way.
He watches the Mets. He enjoys watching the Mets because Francisco Lindor is there.
Yes.
He follows whoever has.
Yeah,
he like right now. He likes watching the Marlins, even though he sees the record because they have Rivera, and I think they have a pitcher now too, a relief pitcher who's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So I actually follow Puerto Rican Twitter, Major League Baseball Puerto Rico, and so I'll tell them.
Okay.
They have a Twitter for each.
Country.
And so I follow that one, and so I'll tell him. I say, "Oh, look, so and so had a good game," and he watches all of that. If he knows there's a Puerto Rican playing, he's gonna watch that game.
Does he watch a lot of ESPN Deportes and all that? Because that will show up in the app, what you guys have over there.
Oh, really?
It should show up because there's a lot of Latin. Like for example, if you go to the Spanish channels, it should show up with ESPN Deportes and all that. So he's going to be able to follow a lot of commentary, like how we have Sports Center, obviously in English. He will be able to follow that because I know he loves that.
Well, yeah, I mean, he does. He was watching. He loves watching. I think he uses YouTube for that, but he was watching Puerto Rican, the Puerto Rican Basketball League. Is it BSL? I don't know. If Tati was up, she would tell me. I know there was a name that I said when I said, "What does that mean?" The league. If I could, it's a Puerto Rican basketball league down there, and you had Hassan Whiteside playing there last year.
I think it's something like Liga Superior or something like that.
It's BS something, and I was like, "What is this?" BSN.
BSN.
I said, what is it? Boricua Sports Network.
Nacional.
Yeah, I said, I thought that he was that Boricua Sports Network, and she is dumbass. She called me a dumbass.
It's officially Baloncesto Superior Nacional.
There you go. She was, doll. She was. This Courtney in the house. Courtney got a new look. I saw Courtney last night on her live very quick, and I kind of took like, whoa. I was like, what happened to you? Who's this? I'm like, God damn, girl. She got a new look. Happy to see she's joining us this morning. Yeah, she was actually. She told me she was watching you and Marissa on your live, and she loved it. She was really enjoying it. So that's exactly what she was doing, and that's why she's still knocked out now. So thank you for tiring out my wife. Appreciate you. But yeah, Scotty he is a Yanks fan. Grew up 30 minutes away from the stadium. Best memories are my dad taking me to the Yankee games. That's so cool. See, I love that. I love seeing that.
That's
for any parent, right? But I love when somebody says something like, when my greatest memories, my favorite memories are going to with my father or with my mother to a game or to doing this. That's the best thing. So that's really cool, Scotty. That's really cool. And again, my Yankee Stadium, even though it's not the original Yankee Stadium, it's still the Yankees. And whether you're a fan or not, or like a legit fan or not, you're still like, we got to go to the Yankee game. So I really want to do that. I do want to take them, and I want to be able to attend.
It's one of those places that the historical value of it. Even though it's a new Yankee Stadium, it's not the old Yankee Stadium, and that's gone. But for example, in basketball terms, I've always thought of like Madison Square Garden. I want to watch a game at Madison Square Garden. Like you just, or I know you're not gonna be able to see it, but for example, at the Boston Garden, like there's the Great Western Forum in LA. There's a lot of venues that are old that you will still love to be able to watch that current game in. So it's like one of the little bucket lists that you're like, I'm gonna do it. And honestly, in Nashville, I want to see when they announce it finally. But I'm excited for your baseball team, which they should approve it. Nashville should be one of the expansion sites.
Dude, I would flip.
It should be.
I would flip. So, I would legit, once, of course, budgeting and all this whatnot, but I would legit be like, hey, Todd, we need to, I want season tickets. I would love to have, because I would support the hell out of that team, just like a WNBA team.
Yeah.
I would, if they did that, I know they brought up Nashville. That's like, we're talking about.
You guys have the market for all major sports, man.
I just don't understand how we have hockey and football here, but we don't have basketball, like legit. We don't have baseball.
I don't know how.
Town. Post X life. Tati told me about that. Courtney, you got banned off Twitter. Causing trouble,
banned?
girl.
She got banned off Twitter?
I think she's suspended, dude. So she just said Post X life, and I was wondering what the heck it was. Yeah,
I thought it was Post like Xavier Howard life, but I didn't know she got banned.
No, I'm pretty sure that's Twitter life, right? Or is she on there now? She's on there now. Maybe she's not banned anymore. I don't know.
Oh, the Subway series, Scotty, you went to. Oh man,
got to get her back on here, man. Got to get her back on here.
Call Bernie Williams. What a series that was. Mike Piazza, Roger Clemens.
4 more wins, brother Damien. 4 more wins, my man. You're absolutely right. That's all we need. And you know what? I think it's going to happen. I have.
You know what's insane?
That's not speaking as a fan. I have a legit feeling like this is it.
You know what's insane? These 2 games that we lost to the Rangers were in overtime. We had a legit chance of sweeping this series, and the Rangers are part of the best team in the NHL this year.
Rangers are damn good, man.
Yeah,
they're a
they
good
were the
squad,
top point getter.
When I was watching them, it was like you gotta you get exhausted watching them. You're like, God dang, this is. And you know me, I'm terrible on ice. I can't skate for the life of me. And now especially with my hip, I can't, dude. But it's like, I don't know how many times I've smashed my face. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah.
You remember Alex's birthday, Alexandra?
Yes.
Busting my damn chin.
Yep. Yeah.
I hate ice.
I just can't stop. I'm like, is it Mendoza from the Mighty Ducks? I can skate fast as hell, but I can't stop. Like, I'll just run it. I have to run into something to be able to stop.
Oh,
Catch one
dude,
like David.
I wish it looks so like relaxing. Like if I I never could figure it out. I'm not
What, skating?
graceful. Yeah, dude, I just
And
can't
it's
do it.
tiring, bro. That's
And
why.
even
Like,
I'm
people.
sure, dude, it'd be a great workout. Even rollerblading. My daughter loves rollerblading.
Oh, yeah.
She's that's her new thing now. One of her not her new thing, but that's one thing she loves to do. I could never do that. I'm falling my face. I just don't get it. So
We play
I
a
have
lot
no.
of street hockey here, but when we go, we'll play street hockey with her. My son is into hockey a lot. So
Oh, yeah.
obviously we play street hockey here, and obviously we go through the growing pains of when you play a small area and with a net, you're gonna bust your ass a lot because he does a lot of these little turns, quick turns, and he's eating the floor half the time. And then it comes to a point where I don't know if she does it. He likes sliding because he has like the
No,
gear.
she doesn't do that.
She'll do that.
Her number one thing is not falling.
No.
She doesn't like skating outside. She does not like skating outside because
Oh, no?
it's not smooth. It's not smooth.
Oh.
She likes skating in the house, and I have those wood floors, so she's just
man.
rolling
So
with that.
you got marks everywhere on those wood floors.
What so right now I don't, but that's why I've been telling her go outside, dude. Go outside. And plus, it's annoying when you walk out and she's skating past you, and you got to wait for her like it's a freaking traffic stop. And you're like, dude, just get out of here, But they're talking about, you were saying something about my father-in-law.
Yes.
Yesterday, I don't know if Courtney's still tuning in, but Netflix announced that this in the morning, and I got so excited. That Godzilla -1?
Yes.
It's finally on Netflix. Dude, I saw this in the theater with my son because he loves Godzilla. We love Godzilla. And it was like, I was like, first off, I love the destructing Godzilla. I love Godzilla who destroys. I love the new ones with Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla Kong. Yeah. Those are fun. Those are fun movies. This movie is what Godzilla really is supposed to be.
Godzilla.
Yeah. Godzilla. Gotcha. It's that's the legit. Like I saw this in the theater. It was in black and white because that was the only version that was there. It was a black and white version. They released two versions of it. Shit. I think the colored version of it was out in my theater, but I had missed that part of it. So it was a special edition. So I went with Tristan. We watched it, but I told him, dude, it's only in there's subtitles, So I kind of read, even though he could read, I was reading it to him so it'd be faster. Yeah. Because he goes and he's like, so
and the scene changes.
Yeah, so I gotta tell him very quick because it's in it's in Japanese. But anyway, the movie was amazing. The story was amazing. The characters, the actors were great. And we left the theater really loving it, and Tristan just loved the monster. I loved the story and everything else. I was like, man, I can't wait for this to come out, dude. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna whatever, support the hell out of this movie. And it's been like almost a year since this movie's been out. They released it in Japan. They didn't release it in the United States. They were like, I thought that maybe the United States was never gonna get the license to release it. So it finally went out. Finally released yesterday on Netflix. And so I told Vivito and I put it on for him. And I was like, it's in Spanish. You can put it in Spanish.
Okay, you can put it in English and all that.
Oh, yeah, it's everything. All the languages are there for Netflix.
Gotcha.
So I put it in Spanish for him, and he put his headset on, and he was watching. And, right away, he goes whoa, what happened here? He sees a fish come up from the water. He goes, oh, it's the atomic bomb. And I said, yes. And I'm talking, And all of a sudden, he's like, baby. I say baby Godzilla. But how because it shows Godzilla, like, years before
transitioning
during the war, and you got to see him like when he looks like a T-Rex basically, like he's the size of a T-Rex. So how big Godzilla is. So T-Rex Godzilla is like, oh, that's baby Godzilla, which is still here. Yeah, but it shows you that he's like he went, he goes, oh, and he's like all that. And then so anyway, I go in the room, I'm doing stuff, whatever, and I come back out, and it's towards the end of the movie, and I won't spoil it, but there's a scene, and he goes, and I see him like really like watching, and he goes, he said, the woman. I said, the lady. I said, oh yeah. And he goes, and I go, starts saying like, oh, thank God. Oh, like I told you that movie gets you in. Like you're like, what the fuck?
Guys, it's just a movie. Guys, it's just a
movie.
It's okay.
That tells you like that's a foreign film.
That's so great.
And it got you into it. It's a great movie. So I know if Courtney was asking me how what I thought about it. Well, if she's watching, it's amazing. So if you they have English.
Put it for my son today. I'm gonna put it.
They have English audio, but again, I would rather watch it in Japanese. I might watch it English audio just to see, but I just can't stand stuff like that. Oh my God!
Yeah, it's that double.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I can't do it. I'd rather just watch it and read the subtitles.
Yeah.
But they do have English audio. They got Spanish audio. They got Spanish subtitles. They got it all. So for sure, man, your son, I'm sure, will love it. You would love it.
Yeah,
I think you'll love it. It's great, man. The music, Godzilla, it's just so cool. Yeah, man, Scotty, dude, it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it. 100% worth it, man. They did a great job. -1, Godzilla -1. Oh, dude. And we talked about this yesterday on Finn's Talk today. Jaylen Waddle getting his deal.
Yep.
Major contract. You know, I don't know if you saw the numbers.
Yes.
I made my opinion known yesterday. But before I share it with you, we want to know, like, what's your thoughts, man? You like this? You hate it? You think they overpay? Where are you at this?
I love it. I love it because it had to get done, and even before other numbers started coming out, because he was only going to get more pricey and pricier and pricier, especially in this offense. And McDaniel's going to use him this year the correct way. And obviously, we see the difference in his development, and even with Tyreek next to him. This is future also wide receiver one money realistically, and I'm pretty sure Tyreek's going to get a restructured deal or an extension. Obviously, after Tua, you already got Waddle done. Now you're going to get Tua's extension done. So this shows me the organization is on the right route and they're committed to what they're doing. They're committed to what they believe in, and it was just a matter. We knew it with Tua, with Waddle. It was just a matter of time. And then the next one comes Holland, and then comes Phillips, and you'll probably restructure Bradley Chubb's contract. That's probably next year. But you see, this organization is taking care of things little by little and implementing the depth as necessary through the draft as well, and building for now and for the future. So it was just a formality, honestly. I was pretty happy with the numbers, the annual average. I thought it was fair payment for him. And the next contracts are only going to get more expensive because every extension sets the precedence and the floor for the next extension. They always have to get $100,000 more, $1 million more. So at least we got to take it care of. And people are always going to go back, oh, we should have done it a month ago. It's the right numbers. It's the right deal. And we're going to get our value in production from Waddle this year and for the future.
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't want to say what my mind was or what my thoughts were on it until you said it. Not that you would ever, be influenced by what I would say anyway.
No, of course.
That's how we are.
Yeah.
I could love it, you would hate it, or I could hate it, and you love it. No, I loved it. I think it was a smart move. First of all, I did not want Miami to wait on this deal. I did not want Miami to do what they did with Christian Wilkins and so forth. I wanted them to get this deal done. I did not want them to get outpriced. So they moved ahead of the market. They set the price, and they got back the 1B receiver. And and most teams, this guy's 1A, and he will be the 1A receiver when it's all said and done. And probably will go down. Somebody wrote this on the show yesterday, and Scotty, I don't know who did, and maybe it was you. So forgive me or correct me. Waddle's gonna. There you go. You just said it right now. Right, when all said and done, Waddle will own every Miami Dolphins receiving record.
Absolutely.
He could go down because Tyreek Hill's not going to be here much longer, whether we extend him or not, compared to what Waddle could be. And remember, before Tyreek, Waddle blew it up. Record. Stats wise. So he had. I think it was a smart move. I loved it. Again, people look at the numbers and they right away just go, damn, all that money for this wide receiver number 2. First of all, again, Tyreek is not here much longer. He's on the other end of it. Not that he's going to be there's a drop off. There's not. It's still Tyreek Hill.
He's still
and hey, you know what? If Miami could extend him and at a reasonable price, and you keep Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle together, and then you got the Washington brothers, that's a pretty good freaking receiver room for the next 4 years.
And the transition. And you know what's Bobby? What I always compare it to, I don't know if you the similarities to me in regards to Hill and Waddle when it comes to time comparison. I always look at, for example, Peyton Manning with Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne, where Marvin Harrison was a go-to for many years. Once he retired, Reggie Wayne stepped into that. And Reggie Wayne became that number 1.
100%. You're 100% right.
There's many other examples. I want to say maybe even with Hines Ward in Pittsburgh, and Plaxico at the time, but then Plaxico left, so Antonio Brown took over really. But then there's Jerry Rice and T.O., where obviously Jerry Rice was much older, but he was still productive. And then T.O. took over once he retired. So you have to have that transition in place. It's going to go unnoticed at times for the common fan. But I think one of the most important parts of our draft this year was the Washington brothers. They legit can play in this system. They legit should make the roster. Both of them should make the roster this year over Barrios. And I know it's early, and I know there's injuries. So other teams will, for example, we'll trade a late round pick for Braxton Barrios, one of our backup running backs. But I do believe the Washington brothers should make the team alone, and EZ also will step up as well. So this you said this wide receiver room is amazing. If you compare this wide receiver room 3 years ago when we drafted Waddle to now, is night and day, man. Night and day.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, he is 1B. I mean, I don't know who's calling him a 2A. He's a 1B, and of course, he had like the last couple seasons here. You know, there's been you could see a noticeable difference. You know, there's something there, and I don't know what happens off the field. Not my business, not my problem. But I will say is that I think with this contract, with this rejuvenated life, maybe on the field, he's going to come back hotter than ever. And even though he's been here, and I think he's going to have a great season. And next man up now. We got this deal done. Mm-hmm. The next man up more than likely is Tua. Oof. Okay, I truly believe he's the next man up.
You saw his new form. You saw the way they revamped. They retooled. They tinkered a little bit with his form, with his release.
I did not see that. I haven't looked at that. I've seen some of his plays, his practice.
It's much tighter, man. It's a little bit tighter.
I would just say, I would say, like I did yesterday, was and Barrios going to get traded. I'm putting receipt on every stream. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Barrios going to get traded. Could happen. Well, it could happen if the Washington brothers get picked up, or stay on the roster. And I hope they do. I mean, of course, though, we'll see. We'll let preseason play out.
Yeah.
We're hyped on young guys. We know that the NFL's hyped on them. Taj Washington in the 7th round is a steal, to most people, what he was able to do with Caleb Williams. So let the process play out. Let's see how it goes. Because, they might, maybe they don't earn that job. They got to earn it. Yeah. But
it's a good problem to have. It's a very good problem to have.
100%. Tua, just, I said this yesterday. Mm-hmm. First off, why I think he's the next man up, because he should be the next man up. He's on his final year. It makes business sense for him to want that deal done for his representation. I was saying yesterday, it's like, and I don't disagree with anybody that says different. I really don't, but like, Fish Tank was saying, I think that Miami, they wait. I think they sign him after this season, because they don't want to. They want to see how he plays. No. I understand, and I think in a perfect world, you would want to do that. I get that. For the Dolphins, probably say, you know what? Yeah, let's wait. Let's see. For the Dolphins, right? Because the Dolphins money.
Yeah, but then that sends the wrong message.
Hold on. It's like $50 million a year, right? That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to commit to someone, right? But why it doesn't make sense for Tua? You saw what happened to Connor Williams last season. Connor Williams, the preseason, was asking for a new deal last year. He said, "I want a new contract." Kind of held out a little bit, and fans are mad. Oh, you got another year on you. You can play it out. And he played top 5 center. The first season he was here, he had a 2-year deal. He wanted that top 5 center money. Miami said, well, let's wait. And as a good teammate, he said, okay, I'll play. And then what happened? He got injured. Yeah. Where is he now? He doesn't have a job. He's out. He's not going to get paid that money. Tua, whether you believe he's a top 10, 15 quarterback, whatever you want to call him, is a $50 million quarterback. If Daniel Jones is a $50 million plus quarterback, or $45 million, what do we call it? Tua is a $50 million quarterback, whether you like it or not. It's just the way it is. And it's smart. What's up, Color, man? Great to see you. Good morning, brother. Thank you for tuning in.
It's market value. The market set the price.
I agree. I don't. But again, It is, yeah, and I know what Alex is saying, and I agree. I want to get my point out. He just wants to get ahead of me, so I'm just telling him to stop for me when we talk. But what I was saying is, it is past that point. First off, because of what he's done, but we know about the December games. There's still a lot of stuff to work on.
Yes.
For Tua as a quarterback, legit.
Yes.
We know that. No one's denying that. But what he's done the 4 years that he's been here, and he's gotten better every season. I'm not saying he's top 3. I'm not saying any of that. Not going there. Okay? What I'm saying is he's gotten better every season. Okay? He's been in the conversation MVP midpoint of the season for 2 or 3 years. Plenty of things in life have a market price I won't pay. I get it, Color. I get it.
I'll respond to that in a little bit.
Hold on. Color is a friend of the channel. He's been on before. Yeah. Appreciate Color for coming in the comments, man. And again, I don't disagree. I don't argue with nobody. Everybody has a right to what they believe, but I'll tell you why it makes sense for Tua to wait it out or to say, no, we got to get that money because Tua's on his final year.
Correct.
He lasted last season. We know he went through the whole full year.
Correct.
But let's say Tua says, I'm going to be a good teammate. Miami's not going to pay me. I'm going to go ahead and play out this contract. God forbid he gets smashed and he's out. Concussion or torn ligament, whatever. He's out for the year. People, the injury bug. You got the injury, whatever you want to call it, injury prone, whatever you want to call it. That noise comes back. Dolphins aren't going to give him that deal no more. He's going to have to move out of Miami. Is somebody going to give him $50+ million? Are they going to trust to give him that amount of money? How many incentives and clauses they're going to have to put in his contract? For Tua's sake, it makes sense for him to say, you know what? I'm going to attend OTAs. I'm going to attend training camp. I'm going to attend preseason. But if I don't get my deal before then, I will not play.
No, and he should.
And I won't blame him.
And he should. And one thing that I'm going to mention, and I'm going to give both perspectives, obviously.
Alex is a legitimate Miami, by the way.
Yeah, this is my background.
I got my background, representing Miami.
This is legit.
He's legit Miami, so he's out back.
You see, this is actually real.
It's not a green screen.
Well, I'm going to give 2 points in regards to the Tua, and I'll respond to Color when it comes to market price. For example, the market price situation, I will attest it to a Daniel Jones in New York. Do I think the New York Giants should have signed Daniel Jones to that extension? Absolutely not, because we didn't see the talent or the production to merit that extension. Now with Tua, I'll give the comparisons. You have a team that obviously, number one, the head coach believes in him. He is the perfect quarterback for his system. He's probably the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. His arm got stronger this offseason. He lost the weight. He's done everything. Tua has done everything the team has asked him to do all these past offseason. Now, did it limit him a little bit last year where he wasn't flushing out of the pocket and scrambling because he gained some weight? Yes. Do I believe this year, after his contract, we're going to see an unleashed Tua where he's actually just playing football? The Tua that we remember from Alabama, the Tua from high school? I think so. Because there's no limitations anymore. Tua, if you can see, when you deal with players, there are some that are very cerebral, and Tua's a very calm, intellectual person. So he's an introvert in that regard. So he's in his feelings. Sometimes he's in his mind. He hides them very well. He has good emotional control. That's why you don't see any outbursts on the sidelines. That does not remove his leadership qualities. That's one thing I've always wanted to squash. People think good leaders are the ones you see on the sideline screaming and shouting. No, that's not all leadership. Yeah, you can have emotional, but you also can lead by example, lead by accountability, etc. So that's beyond that. The contract situation with Miami, if you don't get it done, the message that you're sending to the league and to himself is that you don't trust him. And on the contrary, if you genuinely believe that he is your quarterback and he's going to lead your team and you're building this team to play to his style, to play to McDaniel's system, defensively, you've restructured. So this is really the offseason where you restructure a defensive philosophy, you do restructure personnel, you kept your core together. But this is your future. You got to secure it now because, yeah, you run the risk of him playing. There's no franchise quarterback that has played on his fifth-year option. No franchise quarterback. Justin Fields got his fifth-year option, he got traded. There's no franchise Jared Goff. Did Jared Goff play on his fifth-year option in Detroit? Or no, he already had a contract extension. He signed another extension, right? So yeah, not even him. And it was debatable sometimes when you talk about market value. I understand that there's some people that don't want to play market value, but honestly, for production wise, you can justify playing Tua 50, 52, 53 million dollars a year because the production will be there, health permitting, of course. And he showed he can stay healthy. So they've built around him. They've built him to succeed. This is all for him to succeed. Okay. There's one thing that, in regards to, I think they mentioned the production across the league. You're paying $53 million because the market said it. Perfectly understood. I do believe the most important thing in his contract will be the language in his contract. There will be the Dolphins. This is why it's going to be, honestly, if it was any other situation, like the Waddle situation, it's going to be announced. They're probably working behind the scenes, but what's being tuned down between Tua's representation and Dolphins, you're going to start Tua's representation once higher, Dolphins going to start lower. That's just negotiations. You're not going to lowball him either. You're not going to start a contract offer at $40 million. That's just disrespectful. So there's good nature negotiations there. But what you're fine tuning right now is the actual language and the compensation for him and protection for the organization. Once that gets figured out, then they'll announce the contract. But I believe it might be in the $53, $54 million a year range. I genuinely believe that. In fact, obviously 5 years, with obviously an extensive amount of guarantee in the first 2 years, and then obviously all these quarterbacks, all these contracts are going to get negotiated. Like Patrick Mahomes negotiated his. It's all of that, so it's going to be fine.
Yeah, and great comments here too. Drink Color and Scotty and so forth. And I get it. I mean, again, if Tua hasn't answered all your questions and you see what he's done in December, and I'm just going to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
But if you let me see.
What Tua will sign that?
Well, it's what Color and Scotty are having a comment there. But again, I understand. I understand people. You're like, dude, okay. He led the league. In 8 weeks. 8-3, and was an MVP candidate. But then you look at what happened. You finished, the way you finished that season. 2 years in a row, and of course and I understand it's like, dude, do we want to commit that amount of money to that amount of thing? First of all, excuse me. Again, the Daniel Jones argument, why the Giants did it, should they have done it? The reason why you say they should have done it was because of the fact that who else were they going to bring in? What else were they going to do? And if you want to play that scenario, it's the same thing with Miami. If you don't think Tua is the guy long term, which again, even if you sign him to a 5-year deal, let's just say that if you sign him to a 5-year deal or an extension, whatever it is, that doesn't signal that, okay, yeah, that gives him his money, okay, guarantees him his money, but that doesn't mean, he's a quarterback for, his lifetime, his career. Just playing devil's advocate here for those who would freak out once he signs a deal. But the thing is let's use that argument with Tua, with Daniel Jones. Even though you don't think Daniel Jones is Tua is the franchise quarterback long term, and I'm not saying like, who are we going to bring in? Who's the guy? But my point is that because I don't like when people do that, because you could believe, I think we should move on. If that's what you think, that's what you think. I'm not going to say, then who are you going to bring in? Who would you replace him with? But that's how the Dolphins should think. It's like, is there someone next season, let's say going into next season, if you let him play his 5th-year option, is there anybody who could replace Tua at this time? Is there anybody that's better than Tua that could replace Tua next season? I'm sure there's people who could replace him, but there's anybody better who could play better. That's what Miami has to be. Miami has to be smart and say, okay, look, we can't afford to lose him as our quarterback because he's the best we got right now. And you know what? They believe he could still grow. They believe he could. What's up, Cat? Good morning, Cat. Kidney stones. I'm sure they do.
They do.
I wouldn't mind if they gave him the keys to the city as long as Ross takes responsibility.
He will.
Yeah. Anyway, the
and follow. Do you think Tua will sign that? Do you mean the incentive contract?
It's a guarantee.
I think he signs it as long as
it's the guaranteed. Money. Yeah, it's the guarantee. So, yeah. I think as long as they're going to have incentives in there in regards to the maximum deal. At least I believe so, Color. And Color does great stuff. He's on Finn's Tailgate. He has his own podcast as well. I've enjoyed listening to him in the past. So I'll respect the Color. So Color can correct me if I'm wrong, but I would think, or if he disagrees, it's true what they say. I'm glad
50 million per year. He won't sign that. He won't sign that. It's gonna be 53.
It's gotta be 50 over. No. It has to be 50 over.
Yeah, 50 over.
Because again, you got to think of the market.
Correct.
He's not Daniel Jones. He's not in that stratosphere when he's playing his best. No. We might not think he's Pat Mahomes and that or Lamar Jackson, but he's what I'm saying.
Production wise, he's gonna.
But that's what I'm saying, right?
So
I mean, we might not think that, but if you look at what he's been able to do and what he's meant to the team in regards of, overall, and what he means to his fellow teammates, it's just what the market says. Right. But that will put the guarantee around 45. And that's Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross is the one who would say, okay, let's get him this big guarantee. Let's move over and let's get this over with.
Yeah, and because that's one thing. With the guarantees is not really per season. It's the total value of the contract that is guaranteed upon you signing it.
Yeah.
So sometimes a signing bonus itself is like $40 million or whatever. But your guaranteed money for Color, maybe we're confusing what we're speaking of. So I just want to make sure that we clarify that so he can understand me and I can understand him. The guaranteed money, I don't really see it as an annual average. That's the maximum that you're going to get maybe annually. But obviously, when you restructure and all that, it's fine. But once you sign that contract, it could be for $240, but I'm guaranteed $160 no matter what I do. So yeah, you see that's right there. A guarantee at $170 is a good number. In the $170s, $180s, that's a good number to guarantee. And the contract could be for $250, whatever. Kind of like the Mahomes, which was insane numbers. So I think they're going to get it done, and I honestly think that we are going to get value for what we pay him just on his production alone this year, and the way this team is, the way this team is orchestrated and built and constructed, we're going to have the right people in place where that contract is going to be manageable no matter what, and we're going to be able to build around. And obviously with a bunch of restructures here and there, but unfortunately that's why. And it's insane how the market moved, man. Do you remember when quarterbacks were getting paid like the same amount almost as running backs, and that slowly started shifting? And it's an insane discrepancy where it's kind of like NBA, where you have like max contracts that players are taking up 35% of your salary cap. And it's the NFL is that way, and it's a quarterback league. Okay, so we have to pay 4-year, $210, probably. He could get would he get for a 5-year or a 4? What's the max that they could offer him? 5 years? Is that in the collective bargain agreement and the players or no? What's the max you can offer? I don't even show.
I don't have it in front of me now, so
yeah, I gotta figure that out.
Color knows his stuff, man. He probably he's probably in the ballpark. Scotty's the same. 53 per at 45. That's not bad, dude. That's some what the numbers
average,
out there. That looks about right, and I think again, believe whatever he is, however you feel about him, it's fair. You let him go, let him have his contract, and again, earn that deal. Show that you earn it, and he does. He has before. Just that it's there's no max. It's 10-year. Yeah, Holmes signed a 10-year deal.
Okay.
I don't think that's what Miami will do, but still.
No, I think they'll do like a 5-year deal probably.
It might be a 5-year with an option, like 4 years and then a 5-year option, and a 5th-year option. But anyway, so Jaylen Waddle, we think Tua gets that. Tua is the next guy. We were talking about this yesterday. You got Jalen Phillips and then Javon Holland on the docket after that. I think Jalen Phillips is probably the third guy I would see extension on a contract extension. And then Tyreek Hill, obviously a redone contract. We'll see how it goes. And then Miami got that June 1st money, so we'll see how that plays out. That's finally come on the books. Maybe that's will help out the extensions, give you a little more leeway. And then do we get a right guard? Do they truly feel comfortable with Eichenberg, or do they do a signing that we're not thinking about that could help out the team? Miami Heat. The Miami Heat. So much noise on Jimmy Butler. I mean, you think they'd kill it already, but it just keeps coming. You know, Jimmy Butler. You got what's it? Really, it keeps being Philly. I forgot if there's another team that keeps. Golden State was the next one, I think.
There's rumors.
A lot of noise, about like, hey, if Miami decides to move on, and somebody within the one of the quote unquote beat writers or experts or whatever are like, I think that Miami has played Butler's played his last game in Miami. One of those guys said that, and I don't know who it was, and obviously I didn't care enough to kind of pay attention too much to it, but still, that noise is out there. Man, I don't see it. I can't see it. I don't know what scenario it would be, unless, of course, he says it. If Pat Riley tells him, "Hey, man, I don't have to give you this deal now. I can't afford it. I got to look at Bam. I got to think about the current roster." I don't think it would be in their best interest to work on an extension right now. I think Pat is in the ballpark when he was saying, obviously it's Pat Riley, but he's in the ballpark when he was saying, like, hey, I got another year. I got like 2 years, whatever he said. Obviously, like, if you like for sure want to just get the noise to stop it. But I don't think Pat Riley's going to be bullied into. Butler's going to, but bullied into giving you a new deal with the threat that you might want to leave. Now, if that goes down and Pat says, hey, man, I'm just not going to do it after Jimmy requests it, then maybe Jimmy says, you know what, then I got to move on. I need the money. Does that scenario come into play? And if that went down, Alice, if tomorrow morning, Monday morning, you wake up and breaking news, Jimmy Butler requests trade from the Miami Heat, what would be your feeling?
Well, realistically, obviously you'll be a little upset because I believe that we can win a championship with Jimmy as our 1A or 1B. But I wouldn't be distraught because I automatically switch to the Bam timeline. And it all depends on who I'm acquiring for. So the Heat are just not going to lose out on Jimmy Butler. And this is the one thing that I don't foresee this happening. I do believe Jimmy will get an extension because the cool thing about this is in regards to when Pat Riley came out and said that, I started questioning, why would Pat Riley come out and call Jimmy right off the bat? And I'm like, okay. And it's true what they say. Like, the Heat, whenever a superstar run comes to an end, it doesn't always end the nice way. There isn't always a nice retirement with Dirk in Dallas. People forget that. Even Dirk in Dallas almost left Dallas. Tim Duncan almost left the Spurs. So there are situations that it comes to play where Philadelphia now is trying to correct a mistake that they should have never made. They should have maxed Jimmy. And it was a 1-year difference. They don't want to offer Jimmy the 5-year deal. Or the 4-year deal. I think they were offering him a 3-year deal. And then obviously Jimmy didn't. Obviously Jimmy requested a trade, and they were able to move him for Richardson. Miami was trying to acquire Jimmy for years. When he was in Minnesota the year before, obviously they didn't take it seriously when Minnesota asked for Bam. They were not going to trade Bam Adebayo no matter what. So this situation, the way it plays out is two ways. Like you mentioned, Jimmy requests a trade, or this is all squashed and the extension is signed, nothing is said or done. Now, Miami actually played this the right way, because if they would have never said this publicly, they would have never created this turmoil per se, where you have multiple franchises that would give Jimmy the max. Now you created a market for Jimmy, where even if you do give him an extension and it doesn't work out, you have the blanket excuse where, like, hey, they were going to give him the extension, so we just didn't overpay for an older superstar. Now, realistically speaking, this is where the miles start showing up on Jimmy. Is his game going to deteriorate in the next few years? Yes, it will slow down a little bit. But Jimmy is mature enough, and you saw it this year, where what I've always said is the shift and the evolution of Jimmy's game as he ages in this organization. What does he have to do? Become more of a three-point shooter. You cannot rely Jimmy as your primary offensive player. You cannot rely on him to be that. And I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying the way you structure your team, Jimmy Butler cannot be your number one scoring option because you're asking him to defend. It's kind of like what you're doing with Bam. Bam is your trigger on defense, is your base on offense. You run everything through Bam. He's going to get exhausted by the time the year comes to an end. So that's why you need complementary players. You need the right pieces around you. So if you believe offensive philosophy, you keep Jimmy, then it comes down to, who am I going to build around this roster with Bam and Jimmy? Is Jaime going to be here? Is Nico going to be here? Do I trade Hero? So a lot of those things come to play now. Don't get me wrong. The perfect scenario for Miami is either you sign an extension or Jimmy requests a trade where it's just you're not trading him out of your own will. I don't believe that's going to happen. I do believe that it's going to play out. Obviously, Philly knows he's going to be there, and Daryl Morey started that. I do believe there's a chance maybe the Clippers, because Kawhi Leonard has been dying to play with Jimmy for years. I do see a situation where maybe Houston comes into play. Remember, Jimmy is from Texas, and Houston was pursuing him when Daryl Morey was there. So that's why the Philadelphia connection is there with Embiid. He's still very friendly with Embiid. So I can see that happening. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say it's 100% sure that Jimmy's going to sign an extension. But I do believe there's only one way about it this offseason. Either he signs an extension or he's going to get traded, because he's not going to go into next year and play under 1 year once again. It's really a 2-year contract. But with the NBA now, it's kind of like Donovan Mitchell. If Donovan Mitchell doesn't sign an extension now, Cleveland will trade him. They're not going to let him play out a year because you risk many factors. Him getting injured. There's many situations that go there when you don't have a guarantee. You can't build your roster around that. So you can pivot, and Jimmy can be part of your near future because it is a 3-year window. Jimmy gets his extension. This is a 3-year window because he's canceling his player option. He has 1 year left guaranteed on his contract now, and then it'll be a 2-year extension, realistically, to that contract. So then this is your 3-year window, and this is your 3-year team. Now, it becomes a situation where how far are you going to go? Because they're not going to go above the second apron. I don't think unless a superstar becomes available and they go all in, kind of like what Phoenix did, but with the wrong people, I don't see Miami going into the second apron. But it all comes down to Jimmy's representation, sitting down, and there's respect amongst Bernie Lee and the Miami Heat organization. So it just comes down to Miami, to me, realistically, is in a win-win situation because no matter how you shape it, you have your core piece there in Bam. That's secured. Bam will get his extension. Bam will probably sign. Bam will get offered, which remember we were talking about it the other day, that he doesn't qualify for the Supermax, but he can sign it. Even if he signs it next year, he makes an All-NBA team or he wins DPOY, then his numbers kick in. So it's just a formality, really. So I do believe Bam will get his extension. The Jimmy situation, I want to see how this season plays out because the Donovan Mitchell situation in Cleveland will dictate a lot of that. The Paul George situation will dictate a lot of that with the Clippers because you might even see if, honestly, the Sixers are going to set the market here. The Pelicans are going to be active. They're going to try to get into the market for Garland, for DeJounte Murray. Atlanta, I want to see what Atlanta does. There's a lot of situations with Trae Young, San Antonio. Look, I even see a situation with Jimmy in San Antonio. If I'm Jimmy Butler, I want to go send my home. Move this. The problem is you don't see Jimmy wanting to leave Miami. But Jimmy just wants to get paid. He wants to secure the money. And athletes now are doing that. He already has generational worth, but this is his last big payday. So whoever's going to give it to him, he's going to take it. But there's very few franchises that are going to actually trade. And in good nature, Miami is not going to trade Jimmy Butler to Detroit. You get me? Miami's not going to trade Jimmy Butler to Toronto. Miami's going to trade Jimmy Butler where he wants to be traded if he requests to be traded. But they're going to create a market. They're not Portland. They're not just going to send them to Milwaukee. You know, like there's situations that will play out. And obviously you take the state income tax into play. I do see him wanting to play maybe in California because you see Jimmy's evolution in acting where his post-career is probably going to be in entertainment as well. So, and to me, Jimmy's like such a polarizing player because he loves the attention and you know where it comes from, but he loves the privacy. He doesn't like people. Once the season is done, he's only with his people. Obviously, he's making commercials, but that's why he's such an enigmatic, polarizing personality because he fits exactly what we do. So I genuinely believe that it will get sorted out and Jimmy will sign an extension here and he will play out.
Yeah, I think just based off, loyalty, aside between Miami and even Jimmy, and I think Jimmy does want to retire with the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
And Color, I think, Color says he wish he knew more b-ball. Color, I know for sure, man. If you get into it just a little bit, you'll be blowing up, man. You're good at what you do. So, And Texas is Texas, wherever he wants to go. But no, I think it's hard for me to envision Jimmy playing for anybody else right now. I think Jimmy loves playing for the Heat. And again, though, you don't know what could happen. Jimmy could say, hey, Jimmy bets on himself a lot. Jimmy said, hey, man, you're not going to give me the money now. I think someone else will. And we know Scotty, I think, asked, I don't have the comments in front of me, but I saw a little bit. Scotty was asking, could Philadelphia offer him a max if Miami does not?
Yes.
They only in a trade. They can't do it when he's on the Heat roster.
No. Heat roster, no. It will be in a trade, but we wouldn't have to take salary back. On the trade for Philadelphia. We can trade him to Philadelphia. They can sign him to an extension, and he fits right into their salary.
I'm sure, he may say, unless he gets permission for Pat to say, hey, let me see if I can get a deal with them, and then we'll
of course, if that's where it comes to, that's different.
But not while he's a Heat player, but unless he gets special permission. But
that's why I say with a Paul George situation, because if Philadelphia knows that they're not going to get Jimmy, Philadelphia
they'll hop on to Paul George.
Can offer Paul George because Paul George is going to be a free agent, unrestricted, because he's going to opt out of his player option. So he's going to get full max money with Philadelphia.
I just think the best case scenario for the Miami Heat right now would be to see what you could get from a Tyler Hero type of deal. Keep your first round pick, keep Jaquez, keep Jovic, and draft the guy, and then see what you get from Tyler in regards of not getting another, we got to get a major superstar. Honestly, I don't think you need that. I don't think you need that. I'm sorry.
Well, if you trade Jimmy, you know who slides right into that role?
Jaquez.
Yeah. That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
You have your blueprint, and then you turn it to the Bam era because you're probably still going to acquire Mitchell. So there's things there.
But then and then the Mitchell move makes a little more sense to me, to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. With Jimmy and Bam, I don't know if it makes sense because I don't know how much it depletes from your roster. I don't know if it really moves the needle.
Yeah. He becomes your number one scorer. He becomes that scoring option that you need.
I told you that. That's why I'm kind of
I get you.
a little off-putting on it. If it depends on the if you could bring him in, obviously it'll be a good move for Miami. He's a talented player, whatever. But depends on what you're giving up for him because I don't know how much he really truly moves the needle for you. In the Eastern Conference, but that's just me. But again, my preference right now would be, unless some major dudes available that come to Miami, see what you get from Tyler, but keep Jaquez, keep Jovic, keep those young guns, and keep that first round, second round pick, and use those guys to build around team. What's going on in the background there with you?
Oh no, my wife and my son decided to have a Nerf fight inside the house.
Oh, so there you go.
I'm just watching because I'm in front of my glass doors. So obviously this is my backdrop, but my forefront is my son and my wife just shooting themselves. It's funny. It's funny. A funny sight. Funny sight to see.
There you go. Always good to see. Always good to see.
Oh, how about Trae Young? I'm gonna answer just that one quickly.
Go ahead. No, please. I don't have the comments, so go ahead.
I would not be opposed to a Trae Young trade. Now it all depends on who you have secondary in your backcourt. I do see a scenario this year where obviously Jimmy signs an extension and he plays more shooting guard. You need a defensive component to your backcourt. And don't get me wrong, I do believe the Terry Rozier and the Tyler Hero backcourt can work when you have Jimmy and Bam as your primary defenders and you got size with Nico. So I'm not saying it can't work and it could evolve. There's different ways for this build to continue and people don't seem to understand that because obviously Miami's always been a sexy pick and we're going to trade for a whale, etc. There's many builds here that can take place and evolve and contribute and organically improve every year and become championship contending teams year in and year out. The Trae Young situation, what I'm intrigued by is Trae Young is an elite passer. He's one of the best passers in the NBA, and that's an area of his game that goes unnoticed because people think he's just a shot chucker, but he fits the system well. He gives you your scoring. Obviously, defensively, he's a liability at times. But I believe Mitchell's a better defender than Trae Young, and he's a little bit stronger. If you notice Mitchell's 6'2", 6'3", but he plays at least much taller. Mitchell plays like a 6'5", 6'6" guard, kind of like Dwayne Wade. Mitchell's always been a comparable to Dwayne Wade. Anthony Edwards, I know people compare him to Wade, but Anthony Edwards is even much taller and much stronger than Wade was at this age. So I've always, my closest comparison to Wade has always been Mitchell for me, body-wise. So I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I know it's not 1A or 1B. That Trae Young is probably your third one. And because even San Antonio is probably going to be aggressive to build around Wemby in the next year or two. And people, that's why when I talk about the West and Dallas now coming out and Minnesota, the West next year, alone in Texas, Dallas, Houston, and the San Antonio Spurs are going to make the playoffs. San Antonio Spurs are 2 or 3 moves away from being contenders right now. Okay, people, that goes unnoticed, and there's going to be a lot of shift. That's why Miami's in a perfect position. The East doesn't seem to be that well stacked like the West is. You're going to have Orlando being better. You got Indiana improving. New York doesn't scare me. Even Philadelphia, it all depends on what they do. They got Maxey and Embiid. Boston, this is Boston's build. If Boston doesn't win this year, Bob, they don't even make it to another NBA Finals. That's my genuine opinion. By the way,
Really?
the NBA's go. If Boston does not win it this year, they're not making it out of the East again, man. It's
My
just
pick
gonna
is
be
Dallas. I'm Dallas, man. And Mavericks are going to win this.
Boston hasn't faced any adversity this playoff scenario where the 3 teams that they've played against, they haven't really been challenged, and they almost lost 2 games to Indiana. And now Dallas went through 3 50-win teams. Dallas went through Minnesota, which stopped. I mean, Minnesota there, Bob, you saw they ran into a bad matchup. Minnesota's built to defend taller teams, a little bit more athletic teams. Minnesota's not built to beat wing-heavy teams like Dallas is. Dallas's build is around Doncic and Kyrie, and I don't think Boston has the personnel to stop them. And on the other side, you got P.J. Washington, you got Derrick Jones Jr., you have Gafford, you have ways to stop the Celtics where I don't think the Celtics can stop. But the X factor, obviously, there is still Porzingis. If Porzingis plays, then it's a more even series.
It's going to be a fun series. It
is, man.
It's going to be a fun series. Whether you hate, I can't stand Boston, but I think it'll be a good series.
I agree. Dolphins winning the Super Bowl this year, baby. And 2 MVP. What?
George, the Fins Faithful podcast, tuning into the show as well. Appreciate you, George. Thank you for watching. It was awesome having you on Fins Talk today, yesterday, man. Guys, if you're, obviously most of you are, majority. We got 41 people live throughout Twitter and Twitch and everywhere else. Thank you for all watching, and whoever watches the show after post show. But if you're a Dolphins fan and you like listening to podcasts, audio more than video right now, Fins Faithful podcast. George does great work. He does his homework. He knows his stuff. From our neck of the woods, Alex, from Miami.
Yes,
I told
sir.
him when I go down there, we'll meet up.
Yes.
Do a live
We'll
show, hang out. Good
Absolutely.
Dude, man. Great dude. I'm happy having him on. So we're at that point of the show. I said, let's have some fun with this.
Let's roll. Let's end
the bird in the background.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm sorry, my AC unit turned on also, so it's you're
good. It's the bird in the background. Tell that bird to shut the hell up. We don't want to hear that damn bird. That bird's opinion. Shut that bird up.
Polly, keep it down, Polly.
Hey, Polly, shut the hell up, Polly. Damien, you tell me. Let us know, brother. Who wins the con?
Oh, that's the MVP.
Award?
That's the.
Is that the MVP award?
I think so. I'm not familiar with that.
Is it Bob? Does Bob win it?
Oh man, depending on the series, it could
Bob?
be.
Hey,
it could be.
Bob's been riding high.
I don't know,
Bob
man.
and,
Jesus Christ.
Kachuk?
Hey, and the Panthers, we have a tough off season coming up, man. Because
look out for them Egyptian geese. It's an Egyptian geese.
Sam Raynard is going to be a free agent, and he's unrestricted free agent. He's going to be expensive, man. But let's see.
Bob Kachuk. He was with me. I said Bob Kachuk. You see, Damien, I'm going to be honest. You probably know way more about hockey than I do, or even the Panthers. And I love the Panthers because they're our team. But I'm not like when it comes to like the Dolphins, the Heat. I'm your guy. Alex, your guy. We probably go hours upon hours.
Yes.
Panthers, you probably talk circles around me, because I'm not all the way in the know. So you could educate me on that, brother. 305 all day. 305 until I die. Right, Alex?
Yeah. Well, the
George.
Panthers is the last major organization that we have here in South Florida that hasn't won a championship.
That's right.
That's
now
obviously
Inter Miami.
You know that.
But they're brand new.
They'll probably win it this year. Not gonna.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But no, it's true because the Marlins, the Dolphins,
twice,
the Heat,
yes.
And the Panthers could do it. They could finally kind of get that, finish that off, man. 5-6-1, baby. Color. Oh man. See, right now, I'm 305. It's in my blood, but I'm in the 615, which is Tennessee, Nashville. That's where I'm at right now. And again, it's quiet as a mouse here. You don't hear no birds. You don't hear nothing.
We're here in nature, baby. We're here in nature.
You don't got mothers and sons shooting at each other,
bro. Yeah, no, I'm telling you. See, it's just the atmosphere where we are.
Freaking high. It's freaking Miami. Elvis Presley in the ghetto. This is fun.
And it's funny. I did the show today outside. I wanted to do it. It's a beautiful day.
There you go.
But
OG 305 up there. There you go. Color. Gotta get Color on the show, man. Color. We had Cap on before.
Yes.
George. Gotta get you guys.
We gotta have a revolving guest panel.
100%, cool. Man. You just talk about life. Talk growing up Miami. It's hot as hell. I've heard that.
It's hot, bro. It's getting humid. I'm sitting right now in a little puddle, so I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little uncomfortable.
Getting that little bit of a rash under your
yeah. It's there, man. It's there, and I have my little boxer briefs. I'm like, oh boy, wrong decision.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Should have just gone free balling today, but no.
Sit in the sun, free balling.
Like, oh man,
what the hell?
Yeah. What is this moist? You know when you're in the shower for too long and your hands and like your fingers start getting a little. That's like what your nutsack's gonna look like when you're done here, bro. It's like, God damn, man.
Oh man. Let's do this. Let's do a couple random ass questions.
Let's go. Let's end it the wrong way. Let's go. Come on.
Let's go. All right.
Okay.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Oh shit. To me, it's Batman.
Batman?
I love Batman.
Love that.
I love the Batman, the vigilante. He doesn't really have any superpowers. I love it.
People would argue he's not a superhero, dude. No, he's probably the superhero.
Yes,
like Batman's my dude, man. Love Batman.
If I was a superhero, I would be either Batman or Deadpool. I love the sarcasm. Oh no, Wolverine actually too. Yes. So I'm between Wolverine and Batman. But I'm more Batman.
I'm looking forward to Deadpool versus Wolverine or Deadpool Wolverine movie. I'm looking forward to that. For sure. I didn't watch Deadpool 2, but I did watch Deadpool Part 1 finally.
Okay.
I did. It was one of those times where I was like, I'm cleaning and I'll put that on.
I gotta do it.
And it was funny. I mean, I was like, oh crap. I had to lock my door at one point. I was like, what the hell is this? It was like,
it's Ryan Reynolds as you imagine being a superhero.
Oh, but he's awesome.
It's legit.
Awesome.
It's legit.
And it was a funny movie. It was a great movie. And so I'll watch Part 2 and I'll get into Wolverine. And I think I love their bromance. I think it's hilarious, those two guys.
And their friendship is real, man. That is the most amazing thing.
You're like, man, if I be Wolverine or Deadpool, I don't want to be Deadpool because Deadpool looks like crap. Looks like Freddy Krueger. And I wouldn't be Wolverine because it hurts like hell. Batman because obviously the money, the house,
just chilling, bro.
The gadgets, you got the Bat Cave, you got your own mansion, you're a playboy and all that whatnot, and all the money in the world. Batman, dude, minus the depression and emo and no parents. Killing your parents off. But other than that, no, I think Batman's. I love Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero. I watch every Batman movie that comes out.
Yes.
Every time Batman is coming, whatever it is, I don't care how many Batmans there are.
Yes.
And we'll go down that list. Keaton, who's the best in my opinion. You got Christian Bale. Robert Pattinson did a great job. Twilight, I remember when every time there's a new Batman, you go, what? That guy?
Yeah.
That guy's a new Batman? And it ends up being like, damn, that's not bad. He actually did a damn good job.
Exactly. I compare it to the James Bonds. Whenever I see a new Batman, I compare it to the James Bond situation.
Dude, I did not see your son walk the other side of you. I just saw him pop up to the left side.
He just walked by me.
That's a magic trick, boy.
That's a magic trick.
I just saw him up from your left. I didn't see him on your right. So
Yep, he's right here.
That's some voodoo stuff there, boy.
And you see a hand. Now you see a random hand.
Hey, Papa, what's up? Jakey boy.
Dile hola.
Hi, Bobby.
Hey, Papa, how you doing?
Okay.
He had basketball today?
Go.
He had training?
He had training, practice today. Because next week is
he came from the bush. That's why I didn't see him.
Yeah, he just popped up out of here.
What the hell? But no, Robert Pattinson, he did a good job. I'm looking forward to the new one.
Yes.
And what they've done with Joker. Just talking about that's why I like Batman. He has the best villains. The best villains.
Did you see his trailer? The one where he draws the
smile.
Oh my god, that was genius.
Oh, dude! What I love about that movie, though, with Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yes.
Lady Gaga.
Yes.
And Lady Gaga is legit.
Yes, bro. She's an amazing actress. Yes,
she is for sure. But I'm really looking forward to seeing that movie. And I love how they made it their own. You actually care about this character and where it's going. I will say though, the Joker, and I'm a Batman guy, so I love the Jokers. Jared Leto, I wasn't a big fan of his Joker.
And then I'm still on the fence with the other Joker that they have in Matt Reeves, which is the Robert Pattinson. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
That Joker, he's all
No.
crippled. I'm a little off, but like that. I'm like, Joker. I think of Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger to me, yeah.
And even Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, I like their interpretations. I would rather, if you're gonna go Joker, try to go the classic Joker route. Like the cartoon or like Jack Nicholson. But yeah, the villains for Batman are absolute best. You can make movies off of them. They can have their own movies.
I love it.
And each character too. You think of Robin and Nightwing and whatever. And that's why I'm really looking forward to the new Batman. Like, who's going to be the Batman for James Gunn?
Yes.
Because we know the majority probably going to hate it. They go, that guy. But then when he puts on that cape and that cowl, you're going to go,
you realize
this was good. And that's going to be more comic book. So I'm with you. I love that you said Batman. I'm a Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We don't want to say that because maybe we got a teacher watching, so I'm not going to ask that question. We're saying, what song would you play if you were at a party? No. This is a good question. I'm a Marvel over DC guy. Okay. I'm a DC guy. What got me into Marvel, Scotty, what I would say just got me liking Marvel a little more was the Marvel movies. Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., those guys. That got me into Marvel. But growing up, I was not really into Marvel.
Yeah, I was DC.
Tati, my wife, was a huge X-Men fan growing up. She loves the cartoon. I was more DC. Batman animated series, Superman. I just love DC because it was kind of darker, but it was also felt more real. I don't know. Marvel just seemed, I don't know. I just never was into Marvel. But hey, Cesar Romero, OG Joker. Yeah, for sure. That is Adam West Batman, Alex.
Old original.
Yeah, the one with Joker had a mustache.
Yes,
which is funny. We used to love Vincent Price playing Egghead. You see that? That's so cool, man. Batman villains are just legit, dude. They're just, what was the worst or weirdest dream you've ever had?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Shit. Oh, okay. I'll think about it right away. When I was little, this was when I used to live in Country Village. For those that are listening, Country Village is 152nd and like 192nd and like 57th Ave, Northwest. We had a history. The neighbor we were robbed 3 times and assaulted once at night when we were parking. So I was like 5 or 6. So I wasn't a huge traumatic experience, but because at that time I really didn't assimilate to it. But I understood the gravity of it many years before. And that's one of the reasons actually that we moved down to Hialeah, back with my grandmother, because that situation got really bad up north. I would have dreams like maybe once a week. My room was on the opposite end of my parents' room. So my window would be to the front of the house. The master and my parents would be by the garage. And every morning when I wake up, I had to walk by the hallway. And there was a window that was almost like those windows that go to the floor on certain homes. It was only maybe like a foot off the floor. So I would always sneak, get down on my knees and crawl across it because I didn't want anybody seeing me. So I would have dreams that in the front of the house, in the little front porch, there was like a little mini cul-de-sac. I'd always have dreams that I was getting shot at by somebody. And it happened once a week for like a period of almost like 3 months. And it was a recurring dream, like a fear of that, which I obviously assimilated to the situation that we had. So that was just, to me, the weirdest dream. I wouldn't say weird, but I guess it was a dream with the most meaning to me, that I always felt like it was real. And some of those dreams, like how cool a dream is how real it feels, And like when you're a dream within a dream, which to me is like Inception type shit, that to me is insane. And you wake up and you're really not waking up. You're waking up when you're still in the dream.
So that was my thing.
Yeah.
For me, it usually happens. So if I stay way past, like if I go to bed and I look at time and it's like, and I'm staying up, I'm looking at my phone, I'm watching TV, I'm doing whatever, and I'm maybe like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't sleep. And then all of a sudden I start dozing off. I would have the weirdest dreams, and that's what happens. I'll start having like a dream within a dream. I'll wake up, like I wake up with a nightmare, and whatever it may be, I just throw anything out there. I mean, which is fact. One of my dreams is like
a home invasion. That's one of my worst fears, but it's like a
Yeah.
home invasion. Somebody's trying to get in, and all of a sudden I get up in the middle of the night, and I'm walking to my living room. I open the door, go to my living room. I see the person. I got a big window. You know what? You see my house.
Yeah.
Big,
The big picture.
I can see the person. I could see him, and I go, and I'm trying to. I tell him like, I see you, but I just can't get the words. You know, and it's like and all of a sudden like I'll wake up, and I think I'm awake, and I'll start getting up. I'm turning and tossing. I'll sit up in my bed, and all of a sudden something else happens, whether I fall off or in some, and all of a sudden I'm still doing. So I have to like force myself to get awake.
And you never rest those days, bro. Those days are horrible. You never rest.
You're done. Those I've had that where it's like a dream within a dream. You can't get up. It's like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
Situation.
Yes.
You know, you're like, you have Freddy chasing you. All of a sudden, you think he's about to stab you. You wake up, and you're like, oh. And all of a sudden, you turn over, you look at your wife, and it's Freddy. She jumps up at you. Oh shit! You know, it's just like that. Just like that.
It's insane, man. It's insane how the mind works.
Have you ever had a dream like you say, damn, that was a great dream, man? Like that mean that you remembered it. Like you're like, damn.
Like you wake up happy.
Yeah.
I don't remember the dream, but I have that feeling when you wake up and you feel refreshed almost.
Yeah, I had the reason why I asked.
I usually see that how you go to sleep mentally is also how you dream sometimes that night. When you go into your mind, like if you notice, when you go to sleep thinking about something, you tend to have thoughts or dreams in regards to that.
I keep having a recurring dream that I'm involved in street warfare, like Red Dawn.
Oh man.
Hey, so I had a dream very quick, and here's a dream that we woke up from, and I've never told you this. I haven't told you this. Okay. And it was a dream. I was driving. Tati and I. Just to get right to the point. In the dream, Tati and I. And it's not the first time this has happened, by the way. What do you call it, deja vu or a premonition? But I was in this dream, and Tati and I were in a van. I think we're in the back seat, and we're driving on this bridge, and Jamila's driving the van. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why. I don't understand it, but it was her. That's what I remember. And Tati and I were in the back, and we're driving over this bridge, and I'm looking down off the bridge. I'm seeing these cargo ships running on, not at the bridge, but on the shore. Like they look down, and you can see like there's like a beach where the bridges are, and we're going, holy shit, and they're running into the beach, under the bridge.
Oh, they're okay.
Yeah, and so we're going, oh my God, and I'm looking down, and all of a sudden, like you're looking at this, and all of a sudden, when you look back this way to the front seat, to the front window, the bridge has gone down. The bridge collapsed, and we're driving right into the ocean. Jesus and Tati is freaking out because one of her worst fears is drowning. She can't swim, so she hates it. She can't watch a movie about drowning. When somebody's like under breath and she'll have to walk away. She panics. And so in the dream, she's having this panic. It's legit. Like I'm telling you, it's like a real life. And I'm looking, I go, it's going to happen. We're going to go in. I need you to relax. Yeah. Just wait for the water fill. We'll get out through the thing. And we end up eventually getting out through the front window, whatever. And then I woke myself up. I was like, God damn, your chest hurt. You're like, damn. Yeah. Because it felt real. It was like freaky. And anywho, I don't know if it was a week later or a couple weeks. I'm not sure. Or a day. I'm not sure. But I took I woke up in the middle of the night and I turned on my phone and I saw that bridge that collapsed in Baltimore. Yeah, in Baltimore. From the cargo ship. Yeah. And I was like, God, I didn't keep watching it. It's horrible. You think of those poor construction workers up there, God rest their souls. Yeah. Anyway, see some dust there and it's annoying the hell out of me.
I like that you stopped mid-thought. You're like, motherfucking dust.
I just want to stop looking at it. Goddamn. I'm driving. I drove Tristan to school. That's the one what I do. Obviously they're off of school now. It's summer. Yeah. But I take him. That's my routine. I take him in the morning. We do a little thing, drop him off, and then I just head myself to work. But as I'm driving to work, I'm thinking about it. And all of a sudden I go, I was like I went, holy shit! I was like, oh shit! I dreamt this. Yeah. Also I start connecting. I dreamt this. Yeah. And it's not the first time that's happened. So who knows, Color, with your street warfare? God forbid.
Please.
I know. I just saw that. So I don't know why I thought about that, but that dude from Jerky Boys wasn't lying. He'll roll those ships right up to what they need to be to go. He's the best. Maybe that's the dream I was having. But no, a great dream. You wake up, you're going, damn. The reason why I brought that up before is because I saw a TikTok
where it shows Beetlejuice, not Beetlejuice, Michael Keaton, Beetlejuice. I'm forgetting his name now. It's a black guy, real funny guy, small dude.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know.
And it's a thing saying like, when and you say, the guy asks him, they're saying goodbye. And he goes, "All right, am I gonna get to see you again?" And he goes, "What?" He goes, "Am I gonna get to see you again or never again?" He goes, "Of course I'll see you again." He goes, "All right, man, I love you too. Okay, bye bye." But then the headline on it says is like, when you're having that dream and you see that family member who passed away, and all of a sudden the dream has to end.
Yeah.
And it hit because I've had that dream before, legit. And I've had a dream like Ralph the Father.
Yeah.
Where I remember walking in the house, Hialeah, and I see him and I run to him and I give him a hug, and dude, I smell his cologne.
Yeah.
And I'm standing over him because he was smaller, I'm giving him a hug and how are you? And he's good. And I remember like it was real, dude. It felt real. Like I was standing there talking to him. Like he was visiting.
It's a beautiful thing because what you don't realize.
Yeah.
Go.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to say is that
go.
It's like, oh, dude, it was just a dream. I legitimately feel that's me visiting with my grandfather, that he visited me, and sometimes I haven't, probably 3 times, I would say, the 3 times I've had that where he's been in, in a dream, but there's twice it's been talking, like you smell his cologne and also like he goes away, goes in the bathroom or something, he disappears, and it's like, damn.
There's many ways of communicating, and like I said, and I respect everyone's beliefs, so I don't want to make this about that. And obviously, I do believe in the spiritual world, and we're in the physical world. We're like a chassis, really. What makes us go is our brain, our body, our soul. But I do believe that there's an everlasting connection with family members, with loved ones, that you can communicate in many ways, shapes, or form. And it's not only in the physical form. There's days like, and people, whenever they talk to a higher power, if they believe in a higher power, and you like to talk alone, and you ask for a sign or something will happen that only certain people know about. Yeah. And I've always been a big believer in this, and I'll share this story because when I switched jobs and I started doing my current job full time, due to certain circumstances and situations, they're almost having a newborn. It was a very tricky time, and my parents were, my dad was sick as well. So I was pretty nervous of what I was doing. I've always been a go-getter, and I've always been confident in those things. But I just asked God to give me a sign, and I'm like, give me a sign that this is what I'm supposed to do. And it was recent, also my grandmother's passing, so it was a very tumultuous time. And my first client was Maria Fernandez, and I'm like, holy shit, that's my grandmother's name.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, man, I was in my car sitting down, and when I get the name and I see it, I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, that's it. I didn't look back after that. And that's the way sometimes life works. Like I said, it might not work for everybody. But I do believe everyone has some sort of guardian angel. Everybody has some sort of person that will look out after them. And as well as being able to, I told my kid this all the time. I'm like, I might be gone, or you never know the sequence of life. That's the part. I might be gone, they might be gone, whoever might be gone. If you really want to speak to me, if you really want to talk to me, just close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Yeah.
And speak from the soul. And whoever needs to hear it will hear it. And whatever answers you need might not be a direct answer, but there are signs in life that lead you to that path. I've always been a big believer in that. And there has to be more, Bob. And I'm not want to start talking about the afterlife and all that, because that's always something that me and you talk alone. But there has to be more than just the physical world. Like, there has to be. That's why there's Wi-Fi. That's why you connect. The human body is the perfect motherboard for every technological advance in the world. It's a central system that sends messages, that reacts. Like, that's the part of it. There's something greater to all of us, and there's a connection. There has to be a connection with us. So
I know there's a lot of people, and again, I'm with you in regards to, we won't get into it, but we probably will. It's just what it is. But there's a lot of people say have to see to believe. Well, I believe in faith. I'm just having faith and whatever. But I have seen to believe. I have had little experiences where you kind of go, I can't explain that.
Exactly.
That's not a coincidence what just happened.
Yeah.
Real Brain, best viewers on. Okay. Appreciate you throwing that in there.
Thanks, man.
We'll follow up on that. But no, man, It's true. I don't think that's just a dream that I had. It's like, that I had that was just like, okay, it's a coincidence. I missed him that day, or maybe I don't know. I did.
Yeah.
Of course I do. I mean, I do. When
After we get off, I'll tell you why I believe there's connection to that dream.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'll tell you.
for sure. Have you heard of balls and brains? This stuff really bake your noodle. What noodle are we talking about? Which noodle? South or north? Where are we going here, Color? Man, we're getting deep here, bro. You're bringing up noodles.
Angel hair? Is it penne? What are we
penne?
talking about here?
Let me look up bowls and brains. I swear, if a pair of testicles end up on my computer here,
that's gonna be hilarious, bro. That's gonna be hilarious.
If Color pulls, swear, dude, I'm gonna look it up for real.
Hairy nutsack. What? What is this?
Okay, it's a theory.
Yeah.
Okay, a theory. Boltzmann brain.
Mm-hmm.
A brain randomly existing out of nowhere in a dead universe.
Correct.
Containing memories of an entire life. A life that never actually was and is artificial as its first thoughts. The idea was called the Boltzmann brain. Interesting.
Matrix. Look, I'm telling you, there's...
What? This noodle. There you go. I love how he clarified. All right, cool.
Look, I've always thought, even arts, right? Art and reality. If someone can make a movie, if someone can imagine it, it has to come from somewhere. Okay? So then that becomes the line. What is reality? What is imagination? What is artificial? What is real? So why does it make it real? Because we see it? Or do we feel it? Or what is real? Like, there's a lot of things that come up. And obviously, some people get nervous talking about these things because a lot of theories come into play. A lot of faith comes into play. And honestly, even if you're a religious person, if you're not, if you don't believe, but questioning and all these things is part of it, bro. It's part of life.
Again, I think no matter what you believe,
yes,
it's I know what I believe. I know what my faith is. I know, I am a Christian, a Catholic, whatever, but I think it's arrogant of anybody to say, I'm not going to explore, investigate, or even just, dude, there's so much out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much out there to just close yourself off to these things.
Yes.
Whatever it may be. It's interesting too. You never know, I have it pulled up here, Boltzmann brain. I'm going to read it up, but it was so funny. Just reading that because it happened yesterday. We had no holds barred and I'll read Color's comment right next, but that we had no holds barred wrestling podcast, me and Josh Kimmel.
Mm-hmm.
And we were getting on the subject of wrestling, our styles of wrestling. And I was talking about how I love the story within the match. Yes, I love the story feud. I mean, nothing better than The Rock versus Austin and that feud,
correct,
that story that's gone through the years.
Correct.
You got Austin, Rock, and Hogan, even that short amount of time, but that story they were able to build before the match to feud. I love story. I don't love just, let's throw these two guys together and just do a bunch of flips and Circus Olay bull crap. It's like, come on, dude. I want to, and the story within the match. I was talking to a shoot interview about Scott Hall. I love listening to those old interviews with these wrestlers, Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels, just listening to them and talking about the psychiatry of a match.
Yes.
And how, like, Scott Hall was saying, like, Kurt Hennig, then this is where it became, because it's Kurt Hennig is what I was calling Kurt Hennig, right? You remember Kurt Hennig?
Yes, yeah.
What would you call him?
Same.
Right? How do you spell his last name?
Isn't it with a G?
Yeah, but spell it for me if you would say Kurt Hennig.
Henning.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
On the same boat.
Yeah.
So I said that yesterday. I said Kurt Hennig. And Josh Kimmel, because Kurt Hennig was one of the greats, right? In the ring. Maybe not as a he on the mic or whatever, but in the ring, he was one of the greats. And when you hear stories about him, first off, he was a prankster. He used to prank the shit out of everybody. But he was also a great ring veteran. He would say, hey, look, don't do all your stuff right away. Don't do all the hot shit right away. Take your time. So that way at the end, you have something that, yes. And that way when you do it, it means something.
That's the show.
Right here, color says Hennig. You see? Josh Kimmel asked me, he said the same question. He goes, Bobby, stop. What do you call him? And I was like, what did I do? He's like, what's his name? I said, Kurt Hennig. It's Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. I'm like, is that what you're trying to? He goes, Mandela effect. Like, what are you talking about? He goes, bro, I had this happen to me the other day. It freaked me out. He goes,
go pull him up right now. And he goes, I'm telling you right now, go look at how his name is spelled. It's not Kurt Hennig. It's Kurt Hennig. I go, what? He goes, Hennig. I go, nah, dude, you probably looked something up wrong. I looked up. It's Kurt Hennig. Hennig. There's no N. There's no N before the G. That flipped me out. Like, there's no way, dude. I've watched it. I grew up watching this guy.
And I've seen it. I've seen it. Like,
what are you talking about? All I hear is Kurt Hennig. I don't hear Kurt Hennig. What?
That's insane,
it flipped me out, bro.
It's
Nelson
your
Mandela
brain,
effect.
the trick does on you. Yeah,
it happens, and so it's like you assume that's what always has been, but then it's like, wait, has it really? Yeah, you know what? Come think, he's right. I know. I looked it up. I have Wikipedia and everything. It's Kurt Hennig.
Prove him wrong.
Whoa! I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Color's comment here. The deeper idea is that given enough time, random brains would just come into existence from particle interactions, and that brain is just floating in the universe with the memories. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And that's what it is. Maybe we just assume, it's the same thing as the way it's spelled. Maybe it's just always been that way.
Yeah,
and we just realized it. It's just crazy how that is. But anyway.
Oh, man.
But man, it's just crazy. Anyway, those are great dreams. That's a dream that I've always, and I look back and it's true. Cause I could watch a video of him and still get choked up and like, be like, damn, man, I miss that guy. And so it's kind of cool that I've had those experiences with that. And like you said, your grandmother's name, Maria.
Yes.
You see that name and you're like, dude, that's too much of a coincidence.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That part that's a message. That to me is, and it's funny. It could be a complete coincidence, but is a message that at the time soothes a person. And I believe every question you've ever asked, there's always an answer to. You just don't get the answer in the way you expect to receive the answer. And that's what people have a problem with. Well, because they don't understand it.
It's funny, and we'll wrap it here. But I just want to say it's so true because it's like I was listening to the other day. I'm watching Young Sheldon right now.
Oh, great! You're gonna love it, bro.
Love that show. I love it already. I'm like 4 seasons in. I love it.
I watch it because of my son. He watched it twice already.
It's a great story. I love that everybody has a role and it's good. It's a heartfelt show. It's awesome. But there's an episode where she keeps praying. Pray to God that he's going to do this, and pray to God he's going to do that. And I remember it was in, I think, Evan Almighty, or not Evan.
Bruce. It was Evan Almighty.
Evan Almighty, not Bruce Almighty. Evan was Steve, right? Steve Carell.
Yeah, Evan Almighty.
Is Evan, where in Morgan Freeman tells the wife, if you ask God for healing or whatever, or ask God for strength, do you think he just gives you strength right away, or does he give you the opportunity to be strong? Stuff like that. I think people need to realize that, it's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
God, please give me the strength to be accepting or whatever. Give me, have me.
He's going to put you in positions where you need
put
to
me
be
in,
accepting.
whatever. Maybe you're not having a fight with someone. And give me, please fix this. Let's end this. He does not away go and snap his fingers like the genie and everything's better. No, he's let me. All of a sudden, that person's there that day. They drove to your house. That's your opportunity to say, hey, you know what, dude? I'm sorry.
Yep.
That was it. What I did. That's what I believe. I think that's how it plays out. But it's the same type of thing. But anyway, anywho, man, I love these type of shows. I love the morning shows.
We should do this more often.
I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. For everyone tuning in.
Shit, that's awesome. I did not know this.
Trivial fact. There you go. Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas, but he didn't want to go.
Of course.
Damn.
That's awesome.
Color, man. Appreciate that.
That is awesome.
There you go. Learn something new. And there's a lot of actors like that. But Color, Kathleen, Damian Guzman, Kat, Scotty, everyone who tuned in, Doll. I hate to miss anyone. RL Lyles, everyone who watched and everyone's tuning in right now. We appreciate you guys. Man, maybe we'll do this more often because I love doing the morning show.
It's not bad. It's not
cooler,
bad,
man. It feels better than night because at night you're trying to rush to get off because you got to put people to bed. Morning just feels relaxed because you still have the whole day. But anywho, guys, thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Have an amazing Sunday, a great week, and maybe we'll see you Wednesday night. Maybe we'll see you next weekend. I don't know. We'll see.
Who knows?
Till then, just stay tuned. Appreciate you. Like, subscribe. Fins up, Dolphin fans, for Dolphin fans and everyone else. Appreciate you all. Peace.